Uncover the shocking truth behind a quiet beekeeper's quest for justice, as he takes on a powerful criminal network that preys on the innocent. The story begins on a tranquil farm, where Adam Clay, a man of calm demeanor, diligently collects honey from his beehives. He steps outside to greet Mrs. Parker, the kind owner of the farm, who warmly invites him to dinner. She expresses her fear of the hornets that have been preying on Adam's honeybees, noting that a few days unchecked could wipe out an entire colony. Adam reassures her, stating that dealing with them is a matter between him and the hornets. Mrs. Parker thanks him for being there, remarking that no one has ever truly looked after her before, and reiterates her dinner invitation. Later, Mrs. Parker returns to her daily work, managing a charity for underprivileged people. As she opens her laptop, she notices it's infected with a virus and running incredibly slow. A pop-up appears, prompting her to call for technical support. On the phone, a scammer, posing as a tech support agent, tells her she risks losing all her data. He instructs her to type friendly and assures her that he will reinstall a virus shield, causing windows to open and close on her desktop. Suddenly, her computer goes haywire, and she sees a transfer of $50,000 from her account. The scammer quickly feigns panic, claiming he made a terrible mistake, intending to credit $500, blaming a stuck key, and dramatically stating he'll lose his job and has children. He then falsely assures her that they will zero out everything. Mrs. Parker, distraught, realizes she's been swindled. Unaware of the tragedy unfolding, Adam is collecting honey and carefully fills a jar, intending to give it to Mrs. Parker. As he approaches her house, he senses something is wrong. It's eerily quiet and dark inside. He slowly walks further in and discovers a gun on the floor, next to Mrs. Parker's lifeless body. Just then, a woman named Verona arrives, Mrs. Parker's daughter and an FBI agent. Upon seeing her mother's body, she immediately suspects Adam and arrests him, taking him outside. By now, the area is swarming with city police and FBI agents, all believing Adam is the culprit because he was found at the scene. As Adam is taken away, Verona re-enters the house and inspects her mother's laptop. After a thorough check, she makes a horrifying discovery: $2 million have been stolen from her mother's bank account. This realization causes Verona to reconsider. Perhaps her mother had taken her own life due to the devastating financial loss. Verona is consumed by grief, lamenting that her mother, a kind woman who ran a charity and dedicated her life to educating children, was alone and vulnerable when she was scammed. She reveals that the criminal crew has been operating for 2 years, emptying all of her mother's accounts, savings, and retirement, maxing out all her cards, yet their identities remain unknown. Adam, overhearing this, states that stealing from an elderly person is as egregious as stealing from a child, adding that he needs to take care of his hive. Verona, noticing Adam has been up all night, tells him to rest, but he insists the hive is more important. He then asks Verona for a favor: to find these people, acknowledging that even the FBI struggles to track them as they route their operations worldwide. Adam, however, is confident he can find them. Adam sets out on his mission. He infiltrates one of the scam operations call centers, confronting the employees. He demands they repeat after him: "I will never steal from the weak and the vulnerable again." Identifying himself as a beekeeper who sometimes uses fire to smoke out hornets, he threatens them, revealing he has filled the building with gasoline fumes. He warns that a single spark from their next scam call will ignite the entire place, ensuring nothing alive will remain. Meanwhile, a young man named Derek, the true owner of the fake antivirus company, receives a call from his associate, Garnett, who relays the shocking events at the call center. Derek is enraged, refusing to believe anyone could dare to attack their company. He orders his men to identify the attacker, but Garnett admits they know nothing about him, except that he kept talking about bees. Derek then commands his team to compile a list of all recent victims, particularly those from whom they stole the largest amounts, and to search their houses for clues about the attacker. He also instructs them to hire the city's most formidable hitmen. The hitmen track Adam's location to a secluded property, discovering his beehives there, but Adam is nowhere to be found. Verona relentlessly searches for information about Adam Clay, but all databases yield nothing. Derek, increasingly worried, contacts his father, Wallace, a former head of the FBI whose influence has secretly shielded Derek's criminal enterprise from federal investigation. Derek attempts to explain the gravity of the situation, but Wallace initially dismisses his concerns. Derek then calls his mother, Danforth, who has just been elected president. Noticing her son's distress, she calls Wallace, demanding to know what is happening. Wallace reveals that a former Beekeeper agent named Adam Clay has destroyed one of Derek's offices and is now targeting them. Wallace contacts Director Harwood, who informs him that the Beekeeper problem has not been solved and that Wallace is on his own, implying Adam is beyond their control. Realizing the immense threat Adam poses, Wallace begins to assemble the world's deadliest fighters from across the globe. When they are gathered, he instructs them that they are all going after a single man. The fighters initially scoff at the idea, but Wallace sternly warns them to stay together, for if they split up, Adam will eliminate every one of them. Simultaneously, Adam gathers his weapons and logs into a system to pinpoint Derek's location, then sets off to confront him. At Derek's Neenstar building, a call center designed to deceive people, Wallace has stationed FBI agents at the gates, anticipating Adam's arrival. Derek clashes with the FBI, insisting that his operation, which prints money, will not be shut down. He dismisses their presence, orders the parking garage locked, and tries to secure all entrances. Despite the heavy security, Adam manages to infiltrate the building. The aftermath of Adam's attack on Neenstar is chaotic. Derek's men are defeated, and he angrily demands what happened, only to be told they got their asses kicked by just a beekeeper. Adam confronts one of Derek's associates, Anal One, stating that he has stolen hundreds of millions from hardworking people. Adam delivers a chilling message: sometimes when the hive is out of balance, you have to replace the queen. Verona, reflecting on the situation, realizes that as an FBI officer, the law should be the ultimate hero, and that Adam is doing what she should have done to bring justice for her mother. She meets with the FBI chief, explaining the full extent of Derek's criminal enterprise and how his position as the president's son has allowed him to evade justice. The FBI chief is stunned and instructs Verona to keep this information strictly confidential. Anticipating Adam's next move, the FBI and Secret Service are stationed at the president's house. Adam, ever resourceful, enters the compound by hiding under a truck and moving through the gutters. Inside, President Danforth confronts Derek, scolding him for the scale of his crimes. Derek defiantly reminds her that he funded her entire presidential election campaign with the very money he stole. Meanwhile, Adam has entered the building. Verona spots him and alerts everyone, leading FBI agents and armed fighters to surround Adam. However, Adam is fully prepared, having already planted bombs in the vehicles outside. Amidst the chaos, a new figure is introduced, Jackson Priag, the FBI's deputy director, who has raised concerns about uncomfortable things happening inside the family company, specifically regarding the source of the president's campaign funds. The confrontation escalates, with agents shouting orders for Adam to surrender. Derek, in a desperate confession to his mother, reveals how he used CIA software to hunt money instead of terrorists, admitting that he was behind in 15 of 20 crucial counties and needed his illicit funds to secure her election. He pleads with her to take the fall for him, hoping Adam will spare him. President Danforth, however, refuses, vowing to tell the truth. She then attempts to reason with Adam, urging him to stop, to go back to a quiet life, questioning why the methods of presidential elections should concern him. Adam responds with conviction, stating, "I believe there's good in the universe. We wouldn't need beekeepers if it wasn't for men like you." An agent orders Adam to drop his weapon. Adam's final words are a profound challenge: "You decide who you work for." As Derek bids a resigned, "Goodbye, Mom," President Danforth utters a somber, "Goodbye, Adam Clay."